government to establish agency to help market products of rural entrepreneurs. Decision on militant Yazid Fa'ad's release to be finalized after board meeting. You're watching the evening edition of News on 2. I'm Adrian Seat. An agency to provide rural entrepreneurs with advice, know-how and assistance in marketing their products will be established by the government. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad today said the initiative is one of the strategies needed to enable such products to capture local markets while penetrating global markets as well. In addition, Tun Dr. Mahathir said the government has also seen how the entrepreneurial field has proven to be effective in developing the social-economic status of rural communities by increasing their incomes and giving them new work opportunities.
Tindakan Kementerian Pembangunan Luar Bandar menjadikan bidang keusahawanan antara salah satu trust dalam Dasar Pembangunan Luar Bandar 2030 adalah satu langkah tepat bagi memupuk budaya keusahawanan di kalangan masyarakat luar bandar, khususnya kepada wanita dan belia.
He added that other measures that could be undertaken included smart partnerships between rural businessmen with various parties, including the private sector, with the aim of expanding the networks needed to market and export their products. As part of measures aimed at inculcating a culture of entrepreneurship, Tun Dr. Mahathir said the government had allocated 200 million ringgit for the wholesale and grocery industry and the purchase of business premises, which will be let out to Bumiputra small and medium enterprises. Related initiatives, he said, include a 100 million ringgit allocation to serve as loans to small-scale entrepreneurs. Tun Dr. Mahathir said this in a video-recorded speech played at the launch ceremony of the 5-day Carnival Usahawan Desa 2019 in Putrajaya. The decision on whether to free Malaysian militant Yazid Fa'ad, who was directly linked to the September 11, 2001 attacks in the United States from the Simpang Renggam prison, has yet to be finalized. Speaking to reporters after attending a program with Rela personnel in Pontian today, Home Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin said the ministry would leave it first to the Prevention of Terrorism Board to make a report on the matter.
Apapun dia ada prosedur sebelum keputusan dibuat secara muktamad, ada melalui satu lembaga. Lembaga itu akan meneliti keadaan-keadaan yang telah berlaku sepanjang tempoh tahanan, bagaimana kelakuan dia, dah bertambah baik, berubah tidak. Itu akan diberitahu dan lepas itu akan dibuat keputusan.
Tan Sri Muhyiddin was responding to an earlier news report that Yazid, a known terrorist, is expected to be released from Simpang Renggam prison in November, where he had spent 2 years in detention under POTA 2015, which allows authorities to detain a suspect without trial for that period of time. The 55-year-old US-trained biochemist, who is also a member of the Jamaah Islamiyah terror network, has been imprisoned 3 times in the past 17 years for terrorist-related activities. POTA is an anti-terrorism law that was passed by the government on the 7th of April of 2015. It enables the authorities to detain terror suspects without trial for a period of 2 years. A total of 10 senior police officers and 33 personnel of various lower ranks involved in trans-border smuggling and corruption have had legal and non-legal action taken against them since 2014. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Abdul Hamid Badur said the disciplinary actions include barring their promotions, withholding salary increment, imposing fine and transfer to inactive police posts. However, Tan Sri Abdul Hamid also said there were some police personnel who could not be charged in courts due to technical issues. Tan Sri Abdul Hamid said this year 2 senior officers were identified to have committed offences, whereas last year action was taken against 2 senior officers and 16 lower-ranked personnel. Based on the records, attempts were made against 29 policemen to bribe them between 1 to 20,000 ringgit, totalling up to 86,000 ringgit. He also said there were a few cases where a member of the General Operations Force, or PGA, refused to accept bribes and arrested the bribe giver. Yesterday, the MACC revealed an 11-minute video clip showing smuggling activities in Padang Besar, Perlis. Tan Sri Abdul Hamid said the police have identified several members of the force who are believed to be involving in smuggling and corruption activities that took place in the Thai border. He also admitted there were smuggling activities in Malaysian waters, especially in Perlis, Kedah, Perak and Kelantan. He noted that following a discussion between the police and the National Security Council and the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, a few suggestions were made to curb corruption activities amongst police members. The IGP was speaking to the media after officiating the 2019 Integrated Convoy Ride 4.0 in Puncak Alam, Selangor. Pakatan Harapan is expecting to field a candidate with experience and prominence at the November 16 by-election for the Tanjung PI parliamentary seat. Johor PH Chairman Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin today said although 18-year-olds are now allowed to stand for election, as announced by the Election Commission, PH preferred to have a candidate with experience in undertaking the responsibilities required of an elected representative. Now, speaking to the media in Pontian after attending a RELA program under the Home Affairs Ministry, Tan Sri Muhyiddin said that so far young candidates had not come forward to express their interest in standing. Tan Sri Muhyiddin, who is also Parti Pribumi Bersatu Malaysia or Bersatu President and PH Election Director, said the short list of candidates to be fielded by the Alliance is nearing finalisation and will be announced before the end of the month.
Walaupun dia boleh, itu yang di SPR kata, tapi di peringkat kita meliti kadang-kadang walaupun ada baik juga orang muda, tapi orang nak cari yang ada pengalaman, ketokohan, ada latar belakang yang baik dan sebagainya. Dia memerlukan juga apa orang kata tokoh-tokoh yang ada pengetahuan.
Having visited the Tanjung PI area yesterday and this morning, Tan Sri Muhyiddin also said he was satisfied with preparations undertaken so far by the by-election, and a study on voter attitudes indicate that residents would give their support to PH. University Malaya, or UM, in a statement said it will not withhold the scroll and academic transcripts of the graduate who recently protested during the university's convocation ceremony. The chairman of UM Board of Directors, Dr. Tengku Muhammad Azman Sharifuddin Tengku Ibrahim, said the graduate, Wong Yan Ki, was informed that he may collect his degree scroll. Dr. Tengku Azman said that distribution of the scroll and academic transcripts are done in stages beginning the 12th of October until the 20th of October of 2019 this year. All graduates can access and also print out their scrolls through the university's online graduate system. Dr. Tengku Azman said UM respects the rights and principles of freedom of expression of each individual in the university. He also said UM has always been regarded as one of the most liberal universities in the country. However, he added that in exercising this freedom, the rights of others must also be respected. The graduate, Wong Yan Ki, was investigated under Section 504 of the Penal Code after 10 police reports were lodged against him. As of this afternoon, 278 victims from 81 families were housed at 3 temporary relief centres in 3 districts in Perak, namely Hile Perak, Larut Matang, Selama and Batang Padang. A State Disaster Management Committee Secretariat spokesman said the figures showed an increase in the number of flood victims this afternoon compared to 194 victims from 58 families this morning. The spokesman said a new relief centre had been opened at the Surau Kampung Jawa Throng Community Hall at the Larut Matang and Selama district, housing 17 victims from 6 families. He said the Hile Perak district recorded the highest number of victims, namely 180 people from 48 families who were sent to the relief centre at Sekolah Kebangsaan Cangkat Jong, Teluk Intan. He said the victims were from Kampung Batu 9, Kampung Batu 7, Lorong Mesra Batu 7,5, Lorong Sidang Osman and Batu 8. According to the spokesman, the number of victims housed at the Kampung Sungai Kelah Baru Community Hall at the Batang Padang district remained at 81 residents from 27 families from Kampung Sungai Kelah Baru, Sungai. Meanwhile, he said 21 victims from 8 families in Kampung Malau Baru, Lenggong, who were sent to the Kampung Malau Relief Centre prior to this, had been allowed home after the relief centre was fully closed at 10:30 a.m. today. Repair and maintenance works of the Jalan Simpang Pulai Cameron Highlands stretch that was closed due to a landslide that occurred today will commence on Monday. Perak Exco Abdul Yunus Jamari said a working instruction was given to Syarikat Pintas Utama Sdn Berhad to conduct maintenance work using Terramash wall and backfill method.
Saya telah berhubung dengan pihak JKR untuk diambil tindakan segera kerana kita sedia maklum hujung minggu hari Sabtu Ahad ini banyak kenderaan yang akan menuju ke Cameron Highland dan saya juga minta semua pengguna sentiasa berhati-hati dan waspada apabila sampai di lokasi kejadian kerana masalah yang berlaku.
Abdul Yunus was speaking on 2019 Water Consumer Group National Convention in Bukit Merah, Perak. Also in attendance was Deputy Agriculture and Agro-Based Industry Minister Sim Zi Zin. The Raja Permaisuri Agong, Tunku Haja Aziza Amina Maimuna Iskandaria, flagged off the participants of the 2019 KL Pink October Walk at the Kuala Lumpur Hospital, or HKL, this morning. Over 2,000 participants joined the 5-kilometre fun run, which was a part of a breast cancer awareness campaign that is celebrated worldwide every October. The Raja Permaisuri Agong's arrival was welcomed by Health Department Director General Dato Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah and KL Pink October Chairman Dr. Ross Rosana Bustamam. Her Majesty also joined the walk along with the participants before visiting exhibition booths that provided breast cancer screening services. Her Majesty also visited the HKL Radiotherapy and Oncology ward and spent about an hour with 45 patients in the ward. KL Pink October 2019 is part of the Kuala Lumpur Breast Cancer Awareness Campaign. The Permaisuri Agong was accompanied by her daughter, Tengku Putri Jihan Athiatullah. The transition to the My Free View digital TV broadcast from Analogue is going smoothly and all consumer complaints resolved. Communications and Multimedia Minister Gobind Singh Deo said the transition process of digital to Analogue TV broadcast is expected to be completed by the 31st of October. When replying to reporters who asked about complaints about the My Free View broadcast after he launched the Selangor Level Smart School IoT Hackathon in Cyberjaya today, Gobind said consumers can contact My Free View to lodge complaints relating to the transition of analog TV broadcasts to digital.
Kita di peringkat MCMC, SKMM memang kita ada memantau. Ada banyak aduan yang telah pun kita terima, pelbagai jenis aduan. Ada yang membuat aduan bahawa mereka belum menerima decoder, ada yang buat aduan bahawa walaupun ada decoder tetapi transmission yang mereka terima itu tidak cukup baik dari segi kualiti dan sebagainya. Kita ada hotline yang boleh dihubungi untuk kita membantu untuk menyelesaikan masalah ini.
The transition from analog TV broadcasts to My Free View digital TV will begin in the central and southern regions on the 30th of September, northern and eastern regions on the 14th of October, while Sabah and Sarawak will be from the 31st of October. Jerlun Member of Parliament or MP Datuk Sri Mukris Tun Mahathir said that there is no need to reduce the allowances of MPs who did not attend parliamentary sessions. This is because all MPs have tried their best in giving their full commitment and know their responsibility of attending parliamentary sessions as frequent as possible. Commenting on the suggestion made by the opposition, Datuk Sri Mukris, who is also Jitra Assemblyman, said he and all Kedah MPs have tried to attend the parliamentary session as frequent as possible. However, he stressed that they also need to balance their responsibility and distribute their services to the people at the national and state levels.
Mereka dulu pun pembangkang pernah mencadangkan benda yang sama dan BN tak pernah pun potong allowance menteri. Dia tak apa, asalkan ada pegawai duduk di situ mencatat semua hujah-hujah pembahas dan menteri yang berkenaan itu menjawab. Itu saja, dia tak perlulah secara fizikal yang kena ada dalam Dewan.
Datuk Sri Mukris was speaking at a press conference after opening the Kuala Muda large-scale solar project in Sungai Petani. Malaysia will continue to engage with European counterparts to address misunderstandings and allegations related to the palm oil industry and simultaneously seek feedback on the issues and concerns related to the sector. Ministry of Primary Industries Secretary General Dato Dr. Tan Yu Chong said Malaysia had taken concerted efforts to accelerate its model of sustainable development, specifically for the local palm oil industry, whilst continuing to redress the allegations on the vegetable oil to ensure it receives fair treatment at the global level. Commenting further on the matter, Dato Dr. Tan said that stakeholder engagements at a high level would help to address concerns on palm oil, and he hoped that Poland and other European countries would support the efforts undertaken by palm oil producing countries like Malaysia on its good agricultural practices and sustainability efforts. The Malaysian Palm Oil Roundtable Dialogue, attended by various stakeholders from the oils and fats fraternity in Poland and the neighbouring countries, is a targeted platform that focuses on current and emerging palm oil issues and challenges in the European region. The dialogue, organised by the Malaysian Palm Oil Council, was also aimed at elevating the trade relationship between Malaysia and the European Union, particularly on palm and palm-based products. Malaysia is the second largest producer and exporter of palm oil, and this commodity is exported to more than 150 countries, with the EU, China, India, West Asia, Pakistan, Japan, the US and South Korea amongst the top destinations. We begin sports with hockey. Malaysia received a big boost in the 2019 Sultan of Johor Cup hockey tournament yesterday when they defeated Japan 3-2 in the last league match at Taman Daya Hockey Stadium to qualify for the third and fourth placing playoff scheduled later this evening. Now, coach Nur Saiful Nasiruddin's boys will be meeting Japan again today to decide the third and fourth placing after Japan overtook New Zealand at the fourth sport, with more goals scored after both teams were tied with 6 points. In yesterday's actions, Malaysia opened the scoring with a field goal by Muhammad Hafizi Zainuddin in the 5th minute, but Japan equalised via a penalty corner by Sota Ukai in the 8th minute. Juji Tamikuni then put Japan in the lead 4 minutes later with a field goal. Pressured by the turn of events, Muhammad Amirul Hamizan emerged as a hero when he slotted in 2 goals through a penalty corner in the 42nd minute and a field goal in the 50th minute. The victory gave the local boys 7 points to move to the third place to improve their 5th placing in the last year's edition. And our sports segment concludes this evening's edition of News On 2. In our top story, government to establish agency to help market products of rural entrepreneurs. Now join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon for more news updates. I'm Adrian Seat. Thanks for watching.